really the three things that you need to take out of here today, that I need to take out of here today, so that I can, in fact, worship in spirit and truth, and bring worship that is, in fact, acceptable to God, which is done with reverence and awe. Okay? So there's three attitudes, and this is one of those authors I was talking about. He gave an outline of this, and so I took that and prayed on it and searched out the scriptures, and so this is what I've come up with. Attitude number one, to be a worshiper in spirit and truth, you have to have desperate dependence. I'll take a swig of water while you write that down. To worship the Father in spirit and truth, to be the type of worshiper that the Father seeks, you need to have desperate dependence. And so you have to ask yourself, how desperate am I for God? I have found myself and many others to fall into the category of, I can handle most things on my own. And then I'll seek God when it's a huge bump in the road. That's not desperate dependence. Desperate dependence, I think I've shared with all of you know that 22 years plus now God has graced me with sobriety. I'm desperate for that and can do nothing apart from Him about that. You also know, or many of you know, that I drive 30 miles one way to go to work. And I've prayed for years, especially with older cars, this prayer: God, please keep this car running so I can go to work today. An earnest prayer, especially knowing that I'm not a mechanic. But that prayer has changed because I'm more desperate than ever on God. And I ask Him now, every morning when I go to work, God, let me glorify You on this 30-mile journey. In my mind, I'm thinking, if this thing breaks down, I want to glorify God to the person or persons who come to help me. Amen. That's desperate dependence on God. That's less of me being able to solve things A and B, but only turning to God for C. That's when God in the Scripture says, less of me. John the Baptist says, I need to decrease so that He, Jesus, can increase. That's the same thing right here. That's desperate dependence.